You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Tech Thursday, and we're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. And when I say Tech Thursday, that means Marsha Collier joins me in studio. Good evening, Marsha.
Oh, Mo, it's been so long since I've been here. I swear you've grown a couple of inches.
No, I wish that were true, but it is not true. In fact, at my age, I start to get shorter as my spine gets compacted, as it happens for all of us.
Do you do those stretches, bending over and letting your back roll out?
Yeah, I actually had an inversion table at home. I don't use it as often as I should.
You get dizzy, right?
It's right. The blood rushes to my head and kind of defeats the purpose, but yeah.
Yeah, I know what that's like. But, you got to roll with it.
No, I know. Look, my back could be worse than it is. My life could be far worse than it is.
Be grateful for everything.
I am. And I was telling our health and wellness expert on Wednesday, I would take all my problems, throwing into the center and look at everyone else's and take mine back.
Exactly. The Lord doesn't give you anything you can't handle.
No, but He can give us a lot, that's for sure.
Yeah, there's tests here. But, speaking of which, so what would you want to talk about water? You said you were a tap water guy.
Yes, I grew up with tap water, and then the world changed with the whole idea of bottled water. The closest thing I got to bottled water in the 80s and 90s, actually, was the big bottle of water at the water cooler.
Right.
That was it. I didn't carry around water. But I drank water all the time because my father, that's how I was raised. He didn't let us have soda and the sweetened juice.
Me
It was just,
too.
I just had water.
That either.
I just had water. Meals.
Water. When I moved to California, I heard of Arrowhead spring water.
What about sparklets?
That's different. Arrowhead is spring water.
No, I'm saying that, like the sparklets, they had the big bottles. That
Remember those beautiful trucks they used?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. And there were some people who had their own little water cooler at home. You did? You did? Uh-huh.
I have had a ceramic where you just put the bottle on top.
Yep.
It's not electric or anything because I like room temperature water.
Me too.
And I've been drinking that spring water since 1979 solely. Unless I go to a restaurant.
Of course. Yeah.
All that. But I love that water. And unfortunately, there's bottled water.
Mm-hmm.
And bottled water makes plastics in the water. And if we don't have enough to freak out about in today's world, there's the plastics in everything. Every day you seem to go to the internet and there's some, oh my God, there's plastics in semen. There's plastics everywhere.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's all over our bodies. Now, I figure we kind of know what arsenic will do. But what about the plastics? So I went deep and I looked into what about just tap water? Because everybody I know has a pitcher at home. Do you have a filter pitcher at home?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
We have a filtered pitcher. We have a refrigerator hooked up to the water with a filter on it. Yeah.
Okay. Right. We got that going.
It's Brita, by the way. The pitcher.
Okay. Well, that's one of the four. We're going to mention the top four. But, so I looked and the LA Times did a piece. And so I decided to go a little deeper. So I went to this website. Don't ask me what it stands for. EWG.org/tapwater.
Okay.
You go to that website and you put in your zip code.
All right.
Tap on it, Mo. Well, I
did, and it brings up my utility.
Tap on that.
All right.
Because we don't know every utility who delivers water to California. In California, there are almost 3,000 different community water systems that serve like 40 million people.
Yes.
So it's a lot of places. Some of it's groundwater. Some of it's, the groundwater, has chemicals such as arsenic that comes from bedrock. Who knew arsenic came from bedrock? And then we have the aqueduct and we have the mountain springs. And California voted in April to finalize a limit for how much hexavalent chromium, or Chrome-6, which is a carcinogenic chemical that PG&E contaminated residents' groundwater with re Aaron Brockovich, if you remember the story. So, supposedly I'm with DWP.
As am I.
And when I went to that page and I scrolled down.
On my DWP, it says 30 total contaminants. 9 exceed EWG's health guidelines.
Scroll further.
It says what to do. We can filter contaminants out. Contact your local official.
Oh, it didn't tell you. If you do it on a tablet.
Oh, okay. I have to do it on a tablet.
You're on a mobile device.
Yes.
You're on a phone with a small screen. But if you do it on a tablet or on a computer, it will tell you exactly. And I don't have my phone in my hand, strangely. There's arsenic. There is chromium. There are all of these things in our water, which we're not sure. Now, the government says it's acceptable levels.
Yeah, I just remember Flint, Michigan.
Right. So
and
many.
Jackson, Mississippi, but I'm sorry.
No, but this is the point. The Los Angeles aqueduct. Think about it. The 4 million people in Los Angeles are served by the DWP.
Let me ask you this. To the best of your knowledge, and I know you're making a generalization, are these contaminants things which are being put in the water, or is it a function of pipes or something else?
Well, okay, funny you mentioned that. Like I said, the hexavalent chromium comes from rocks and things under it's going to happen. There's even uranium.
That's naturally occurring.
Yeah,
then.
You're going to see uranium also when you look at that on a laptop.
Mm-hmm.
It's naturally occurring. But then also, it goes through the pipes of your house. How old are the pipes in your house?
How leaded are they?
How leaded are they? Yeah, and how leaded are the pipes coming from the water main to your house that you have no control over?
Right. You have control over the pipes in your house, maybe your housing development, but not 2 blocks away coming in.
Yeah, so scary, period. If you're obsessive and you have nerd time, you can go to Home Depot and get little test strips. Cost about $15 to test your water and see what kind of poison you have. You can filter it the way Mo does. I filter in my refrigerator also. Mm-hmm. But I like to have a pitcher in the house. Like when I get home, if there's any water left in this bottle of plastic water, I will pour it into the top of mine. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to tell everybody real quickly, water pitchers do work. For some reason, everybody has a different one. My daughter and my husband has a Zero water. My daughter has a Brita, like you.
Yeah, we've had Brita. Mm-hmm.
There's a brand called Pure.
Yes.
That I didn't know about.
I'm familiar with that one.
And I'm in earthquake mode all the time. And I have a thing called a life straw, which, you don't know.
No, not familiar.
If you're a Boy Scout, you'd know about it. If you're out in the wilderness, there's a thing called a life straw. You can put it in a nasty looking thing of water. It filters out everything and makes water safe to drink.
No, I'm not familiar with that. I was 4-H, not Boy Scouts.
Okay. I bought, after the earthquake, we have life straw, and I got this big pool. It filters out the chlorine. It filters out the bacteria. It's amazing. And it's a straw. But now the number one best, and when I researched them, is made by Life Water, and Life Straw, and it's absolutely amazing. Now everybody makes them in plastic, which makes me a little nervous because it's
kind of defeating your purpose. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
You're trading one for the other.
Not BPA.
Mm-hmm.
I get it, but I don't know what that means. But not Pure, Life Straw also makes one in borosilicate glass. What's that? Pyrex.
Oh, okay.
Except it's a lot thinner than Pyrex. Mm-hmm. Pyrex, you always know, is thick because borosilicate glass breaks real easily. But they have a lovely silicone base to it, so you can set it down on something. And so whatever your choice is, whatever you go to that website and whatever you're worried about, go to the website of either Brita, Zero Water, Pure, or Life Straw and see if what you're freaked about is going to be filtered out.
And let's not forget EWG.org tap water.
Tap water, and do your tap water too. And the reason I picked that Life Straw one is because it filters out micro plastics.
Not the macro.
Oh, the macro is easy. It's the micro you have to worry about.
So when we come back, can you scare us some more with the concerns about credit card skimmers?
I didn't want to scare anybody. I just want to tell you, you should maybe, think about which water filter to get.
Everything's trying to kill us. It's Later with Mo Kelly. I'm joined in studio by Marsha Collier on this Tech Thursday.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Tech Thursday with Marsha Collier. Now, Marsha, you also have some other really important recommendations and warnings as it relates to credit card skimmers. We know about it. We hear some of the horror stories, but what are some of the things that we really need to be mindful of?
Okay. This is positive. This is good stuff for you. When you look like gas stations, they creep me out really bad. At least maybe an ATM, you go to the one at the bank, might be a little safer. I'm never going to one in a 7-Eleven.
Thank you. Thank you.
Not going to happen. So when you get to a place and you're looking for a skimmer, for those who don't know, a skimmer is something that has been inserted into where you put your card to get your money and to read the information. And this is put by someone other than the bank. And then the information is sent to the bad guys long story short. So what you need to do to protect yourself. First of all, look around. If there's more than one credit card reader in the same store or place, are they all the same? Does that one have tape all over it like this one does? Does that? Okay. That tape just creeps me out. I don't know why it's there, but I don't know.
Anything which would seem unusual.
Right. And now they all look unusual. Now, this Mo, you were telling me you do this and my husband does it. Try to remove it. Grab it. Give it a good tug. If it comes out in your hand, it's probably a skimmer because those machines are really built.
And this is something I got to interrupt you there because I was told, hey, don't use your ATM or credit card at the pump. Use it inside. But many times the credit card skimmer is inside.
Yeah, yep, it is. And also take your fingernail, put it under the keypad and try and lift that. This is insane. Look for residue. If you see maybe a little glop of glue or a little something weird around the slot.
Anything that would lend
Out
to
of the
ordinary that has been jimmied in any way.
Right. And again, check the tape. I don't know what the tape is. I see it, the tape. It hasn't been cut, so I figured that means it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't get the tape. Look inside if you can. Shine a light. I have a little tiny flashlight in my purse. Men carry them in their pockets. Shine a light into it. See if you see something dangling around in there. You never know, right? Just be aware. Look around you when you're going to do, this is a financial transaction with your bank. Be aware. Be aware who's around you. Be aware if there are cameras around you. Maybe a camera.
Trying to steal your pen.
Right. Maybe a camera that doesn't belong. Cover the keypad with your hand. Kind of boop, 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 and press the buttons underneath. And if possible, at all times, go contactless. And that means tapping your card with that little boop.
Yes.
That's the safest way. But I wanted to finish up real quick because I wanted to talk to you about the Olympics because I so love the Olympics. Okay. It has a tech theme here.
Oh, it does?
Yes. Opening ceremonies in Los Angeles tomorrow are at 4:30 p.m.
Not L.A. Oh, you mean time.
LA
they
time.
aired. Okay.
Yeah, they air L.A. 4:30 p.m. And I love it because all the countries come out. They have their uniforms. They're all proud. They're waving the flags.
Yep.
It's just makes my heart feel good. Well, this year, making it different, I was told instead of walking into a building, they're going to be on the Seine River in Paris.
Oh, that's going to be cool.
And each country is going to have a boat or a couple of boats. You know those Seine River boats.
Yes.
So just perfect. They're going to have their flags. They're going to wear their uniforms. And Samsung has put Samsung phones for their cameras on the different boats so that the players and the athletes can also take a part in the opening ceremonies by saying something or pointing pictures at certain things as they go by. So it'll make it a much better, I think, multimedia performance.
See, that was always my question. There was a news report that Mark Runner did earlier about the waning television, I should say, viewership of the Olympics. And a lot of this is all tied together. You have to give the younger generation a reason to tune in.
Exactly.
The Olympics for us is our generation. It's not these folks' generation. And you can't present it the same way as they did in 1984, 1988.
Right. It's a new world. So I think that's why they're getting all the celebrities involved. I mean, Flava Flav is going to be at the Olympics. Snoop.
I love Snoop. I'm just sorry. He's hilarious to me.
And Flava Flav is, please, Flava Flav. And here at the shot put is Flava Flav. You know, this is going to be kind of interesting, but it's going to be something to watch, and it's going to hopefully amuse as well as educate everybody to these sports. And you can pull out your Olympic Barbie.
I gotta say, I am tickled that you know who Flava Flav is. I am really tickled.
I love him. How many clocks does he have?
Oh, a bunch. That goes back to when he was a part of Public Enemy, and that was part of his get up. He's worn that for at least 40 years that I know of.
I mean, it's amazing. I think I met him once in an airport, and I didn't walk up to him or anything, but I saw a guy with a clock, you know.
He's kind of recognizable and identifiable.
Yeah, he was. I saw Sammy Davis Jr. in an airport once, too. The man wore more jewelry. He couldn't hold his head up.
He was a tiny man, wasn't he?
Oh, he was really 5 foot.
5'1",
5'2". But he was very old when I saw him. He was at Burbank Airport, and he had so much gold jewelry on. I'm surprised he could stand up.
It was a different time. You know, people wore jewelry. They wore gold back then.
Wait a minute, you could.
That's true. Yeah.
You could.
Again, a different time. Yeah.
Not afraid of having your arm chopped off for your watch.
Yeah.
Which, you know, we live in a strange time. And I really don't like wearing a Fitbit. You know, I want to wear a watch. I want to wear a pretty piece of jewelry.
Yeah, I don't wear any jewelry in part for that reason.
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't live in a way that suggests, oh, he might be a good target.
Yeah. And that's sad. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't even use my good purses anymore.
Neither do I.
No, and you look so good in them.
Oh, I had a Birkin bag. It was to die for.
Oh, sweetie. I love it.
But now it's Louis.
Now it's Louis. Mo, it's great to be here this week. Thank you so much. I promise to try and come up with a happier story next week.
We just talk about the news that's in front of us. That's all we can do.
The tech we love.
And we'll do it again next week.
Bye-bye, everybody. See you next week.
It's Later with Mo Kelly, KFI AM 640, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Hey, Mark Runner, I know you're busy, but I need to interrupt you. First, you didn't say thank you like you were supposed to earlier.
For the pizza?
Well, no.
Oh, thank you for the pizza. I'm enjoying it right now.
No. I'm not eating pizza tonight.
No, but I am, and I want you to know how much I appreciate it.
Okay, let me take you behind the scenes. Usually, we'll get food on a Friday, but we're doing it on a Thursday. And I say, if you want food, you decide, I'll pay. Tuwala paid, I'll pay him back. But tonight, they got pizza. I'm not having any of it because I'm on a cleanse and diet. I'm working my way up to my semi-annual physical.
You really need to start taking better care of yourself.
Yes. He said this with a mouthful of pizza that I am. And I literally walked by Air Mix, which is the studio next to the main studio that Stefan and Lindsay are in. And I said, have you guys finished the pizza? Because I need you to hurry up and finish it so I will not be drawn to it. I have been very good with my, and I don't want to call it a diet. I want to say it's a life change. It's been low calorie, low sodium, low sugar, low cholesterol, low taste, low enjoyment. That's basically what it's been.
If you don't want to be pear-shaped anymore, you got to have the willpower.
Well, do I not want to be pear-shaped, I got to just make sure my numbers are in a better place when I do see my doctor.
Yeah, let's watch those numbers.
Yeah. So, your time is coming.
Okay.
But yes, as you guys munch on pizza, I'm trying not to think about it. But the reason I did call you on the mic is I know you're a quasi sports fan to a certain degree. You had an interest in sports as an athlete.
Well, but in the unpopular ones. Like, did you ever see The Breakfast Club?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so I'm the guy who had to explain, I wore the required singlet.
Singlets, yes. Yeah, unless you understand anything about wrestling, you have no idea what a singlet is.
And you're for the better for it.
That was a sport which was really big at my high school, but I never had any desire to get into.
I think it kept me out of prison. It's a hell of an outlet. It's good.
Oh, that was your release?
One of it. Well, that and martial arts, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Did you ever consider any other sports? There's a reason for this.
I'm not sure what you mean.
No, I'm saying, did you ever consider playing football or something like that?
I did track and field.
What was your event?
I did a number of things. I did long distance. I did the mile. I did the 400. I did the 300-meter low hurdles.
Now, see, I didn't know that. I'm still learning new things about you. I thought you would have been more into like pole vault or shot put.
You going to make something dirty out of those?
No.
I feel like you're going there.
No, you make it weird. I'm just making an observation.
Okay.
No,
I was a halfway decent runner. It wasn't anywhere near the best, but solid.
Mm-hmm. No, I did not know that. You did sprints and long and distance.
Yeah, both.
Wow.
Completely different skills.
The only reason I asked that is because this L.A., for the most part, is a sports town. Dodgers, lifelong fan. Clayton Kershaw came back tonight, from what I understand. And the Dodgers did beat the Giants. They've won like 7 out of the last 8 games. And I was wondering, do you follow baseball at all?
No, I just see the headlines. And when most sports headlines come across the wire and they're important enough for me to report, I just report them like I'm reading a foreign language phonetically, so I don't mess it up.
It doesn't mean anything to you at all.
Not so much. No.
Okay, growing up, did it matter at all what the Mariners did or the Seahawks or anything?
I mean, you go to a game. I used to really enjoy going to games at Wrigley Field in Chicago because, Chicago has the best drunks on earth. They're fun drunks. They're not particularly violent drunks. And Wrigley Field is just a beautiful facility. But it could be anybody playing. It's like an Onion headline. Regional area man supports regional team.
I would like to go to Wrigley Field. That's one of the few ballparks of the old ballparks which are still around that I haven't been able to get to. I've never been to Boston, so I've never been to Fenway Park. Camden Yards is a great ballpark in Baltimore. Great. Especially for the fans.
Baltimore, but not there. I went to a great, old Art Deco movie theater with a crying room for kids in Baltimore. Every theater should have one of those.
Yeah. But I'd like to, when I usually go to a new city, I try to get a sports piece of paraphernalia. It could be a jersey or something, T-shirt from one of the home teams and add to my collection whenever I go to a different city.
So how much stuff you got?
A lot. A lot of it I don't even wear anymore because my whole wardrobe has changed and I don't have enough reasons to wear all that stuff. Like I have a St. Louis Ozzie Smith jersey. When am I going to wear that in a Dodger town? You know what I mean? I'm not going to wear it to work. We're in the same building as the Dodger station. It'd just be weird and awkward, and people would look at me like I'm crazy.
Would it ever be enough to provoke a fist fight?
No, because it's St. Louis. It would be odd, but it wouldn't anger people. If I walked in a Padres jersey or a San Francisco Giants jersey like Gary Hoffman does, that might rankle some nerves.
I love it when sports people talk crap to each other and get up in it. Like when you and Tawala argue about any sporting event whatsoever, it tickles me to death because it's like you don't understand that you sound like Charlie Brown's teachers to people who were used to being marginalized for being nerds and arguing about like movies and comics and superheroes and stuff. You sound the same way.
I was a nerd. I was a band geek. I was marginalized, but I still liked sports, talking about professional sports.
I agree with that. And I think if you and I had known each other when we were kids, we would have been just inseparable nerds because we like all the same stuff. You have the sports angle covered and I absolutely do not.
I think it was more a function of my dad because he was the one who introduced me to the Lakers. He introduced me to the Dodgers. He was the one who told me how football works, what 4 downs was. He took me to Hollywood Park in Santa Anita and explained to me how to read a racing form. So anything that's sports related came from him.
Yeah, bonding with your dad over sports has to be one of the best things in the world. And I grew up without a dad. My grandpa admonished me and despised me for not getting into basketball. Like he maybe saw like one wrestling match of mine. So I am deeply envious that you had that with your dad.
Do you remember what a weight class you wrestled in?
158 and 168.
How many years ago was that the last time you saw 158 or 168?
None of your damn business.
No, it's funny. When I graduated high school, I remember I weighed 133 pounds. 133.
What, one of your legs?
133 pounds total.
Okay.
And I gained 15 pounds my freshman year in college, the freshman 15.
Well, that happens.
It really happened. And I weighed a robust 148.
Now we got the pandemic 22 that I'm still trying to take
Look,
off.
I will never see 148 again in my life unless I'm on my deathbed getting ready to leave up out of here. There's no way I'll ever get down to 148.
Not without an amputation.
And even then, you know, I'm not going to lose. I'm 175 right now. Right now, 175.
No, it feels great to just settle like an old person.
Yeah.
Those might as well throw those pants away. They're never going to fit again.
No, I went through a whole period of that. I had all these clothes in my closet from years ago, whatever. It's like, that doesn't fit right. Yeah, but I'm going to get there one day. That doesn't fit right. And it's out of style and it doesn't fit right. Go ahead and throw it away. So I've been doing a lot of spring and summer cleaning, just kind of owning up to certain things I don't need to wear again, certain things I won't wear again. And what got me on this kick, this is a true story. I bought a suit online, Men's Warehouse, and I know my measurements, but for some reason, I hit the wrong button. I was supposed to order a 42 regular jacket, and I ended up ordering a 40 regular jacket. Sent it to me, and I realized, ooh, this is kind of tight. And I said, well, I have two options. I can go return it and get another jacket. They can't tailor it going up. They can go down.
Correct, yeah.
But so I said, well, I can lose weight, get in better shape, and fit the 40 regular.
Or
I could go through the other trouble of, trying to get the correct size at the time sent out.
In other words, the one that's possible.
But I'm proud to announce I fit that 40 regular comfortably.
Really?
Yeah. I'm down to 175. Sexy is coming back. Yeah. I'm hopefully by this cruise, when I get on with Tuala, I'll have some shirts off photos. Just one last time.
Oh, no, don't do that. we don't need that. I don't need that.
When we come back, we're going to talk about Uber, Lyft, and Stefan, whether any of this matters to him as a, former, present Uber driver. Which is it, Stefan?
In between right now.
Okay, yeah. That's what I thought.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
California Supreme Court today upheld a voter-approved law that allows Uber and other app makers to treat their drivers and delivery workers as independent contractors instead of employees. And you may remember here in the state, the decision on Proposition 22 was just about unanimous, approved by 58% of California voters back in 2020, and enacted that same year. Prop 22 gave app-based gig workers some benefits, but not full worker protections because the ballot initiative, which ensures they are not considered employees. Did you know that more than 1.4 million Californians are app-based gig workers? Talking about the people who work for Uber, work for Lyft, or maybe DoorDash or Instacart. That's a part of that gig economy. Maybe you have more than one job, more than one stream of income. I know I do. I know it's pretty commonplace now. You can't necessarily depend on just one job. And part, I would say, of the gig economy is the freedom and flexibility it affords. The whole point, or I should say the whole allure of driving for Uber is you can work when you want, basically wherever you want. And if you have a car, you are never without money coming in. Now, there's a question of whether it's financially as meaningful and helpful as it once was when Uber first started. But still, some money is better than no money, especially if you need to depend on that. And Stefan, I know we don't have a lot of time in this segment, and I know you said you were kind of in between. Yes, no, still driving for Uber. But in the past year or so, how has it changed for the better or for worse for drivers?
I mean, nothing's really changed for the most part, because what they've really done is just add what they call quest bonuses. And if you do a certain amount of trips, you get a bonus on top of what you make. So if you make, let's say, $200 in any given week and you did 30 trips, they might throw an extra $100 or $50, depending on how far you go. But now that I'm here and I'm kind of like taking care of my dad a little bit more, I can't really do it as much. So I'm going to try to go back. It'll be Fridays and Saturdays. And that's what I always told people. If you want to do part-time, that's the time to do it, because that's when you're going to make the most money.
If someone was out of work, someone who had no employment, but they have a reliable car, and if they were willing to drive, let's say 10, 11 hours a day, as best you could guesstimate, how much money could they conceivably be making a week?
Because mine was Monday through Saturday, I always took Sunday off. And depending on if there's a holiday or not, but average, I would say I made somewhere around between 1,000 and 1,300 a week. Because I did a lot of hours, and plus Friday and Saturday nights I stay out really late.
Okay, so let's just say if you lose your job and you're willing to commit to Uber, you could bring home gross at least $4,000 a month.
Yeah, give or take. Yeah.
And of course, I know there's a cost of gas, there's a cost of maintenance, but you could survive.
Yeah,
in most instances,
especially because if you have a really fueled, like a really good car and gas, like a Prius or just a 4-door sedan, that'll go far in doing it. Especially because if you're waiting around for trips, you don't have to worry about shutting the engine off all the time, stuff like that. How
many miles did you drive on an average day?
Monday through Thursday was about 150, and then Fridays and Saturdays was like 3 to 350.
Okay, so if you had an electric vehicle, conceivably you could do it.
Oh yeah, you could do it. The only thing that held me back from that was especially on Fridays and Saturdays, I'd worked so long that I'd have to stop to get gas halfway through. So if you have an electric car, it takes longer to charge it than just filling up quick in 10 minutes and you're off. So
let me just ask you this. Mm-hmm. Given this story that y'all are going to remain as independent contractors instead of employees, plus or minus, is that good or not so good? I would think it's better for drivers.
Oh yeah, it's 100% better. They kind of try to brainwash some of those people into thinking that it should be hourly pay, but people don't realize they're going to cut half of the workforce there. You're not going to be able to work when you want. You're going to have caps. You're going to have a schedule, and that defeats the purpose.
Well, there you have it.
Yeah.
It's Later with Mo Kelly, KFI AM 640. We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
We go through all the that's going on so that we can tell you just the you need to know.
KFI
and KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live